We'll be talking about land. We'll be talking about power plants. That's up, it's a big question. But I think we have a lot of it already discussed very much by both sides. We're already talking about that, dividing up certain assets.
President Trump speaking on Air Force One about today's talks with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin. Land and assets are on the agenda. For more, we are joined by Bloomberg's Russian economy and government editor, Greg Sullivan. And Greg, this call will be coming in a couple hours' time. IFX reporting that Peskov says that it will happen at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 4 p.m. local time in Moscow. What's on the agenda for this conversation?
Well, we know a few things are on the agenda. Obviously, the big one is the 30-day truce that Trump has gotten Ukraine to agree to. He's now seeking to get Vladimir Putin's buy-in so that they can continue on this process. Now, there are certain conditions that Putin wants to demand in order to agree to this, and some of which Trump alluded to. He said that the two would likely discuss land considerations. Now, both sides have had red lines on certain territorial demands. Obviously, Russia is demanding to keep the land that it has seized, while Ukraine is hesitant to give up any sovereignty over over its own land. So it's hard to see how an agreement will be reached there, but we do know that territory is likely to be discussed, as is a power plant that President Trump alluded to, a nuclear power plant, the largest in Europe.
Well, Greg, President Zelensky of Ukraine had wrote on X, he had a conversation with Macron saying that Ukraine is ready for an unconditional 30-day ceasefire. However, for its implementation, Russia must stop setting conditions. It sounds like Russia is coming to the table with conditions. What role, if any, is Ukraine going to be playing in its own future, in its own ceasefire talks?
That is absolutely right. Russia is coming to the table demanding a lot. They are trying to come from a maximalist position. Some Western analysts have assessed that Russia is making these demands, which are very hard for Kyiv to accede to, because they are calculating that they can continue fighting. Right now, Russia has been making slow, albeit costly gains in the east, and they've almost successfully dislodged Ukrainian troops from large areas of Kursk that they had occupied after a surprise incursion. Putin is likely calculating that this strengthens his hand at any future negotiating table. We have reported that Putin is likely to play for time, has been playing for time in this process, and maximalist demands are definitely a part of that.